Jim, crypto news and analysis here, August 7th. What is going on in the markets today? Are we so back? And it looks like I am so wrong because Bitcoin, I was like, guys, if it doesn't close above the green bands, then we're going to 110K. But Bitcoin basically said, fuck you, and we're going to 170K. So I think for the daily, we're going to see a return on the green bands. And what I think was going to happen pretty soon is that Bitcoin is going to go to 120K. Liquidation heat map wise supports this thesis. I mean, it's been staring at us this whole time. All these shorts saying, fuck you, Bitcoin. And they're all around 120K. And looks like Bitcoin is just going to do a short squeeze higher to that. And because of some really fucking great news, which I'll talk about later, because I think that's why some of you guys might be interested. But yeah, Bitcoin extremely strong. We're about to get a close in 3 hours, and this will most likely carry the momentum higher to 120K in the next few days instead of 110K. Change my mind on this, and we'll have to see what happens at 120K. If it does go there and long term it chills here and it chops around here, that would be the most bullish case if it chops up there, because then it goes higher to 123K, and then it would pretty much start there. It would be a pretty explosive move, maybe like 130K or some shit. But if not, then this will follow a pretty choppy path, and we will see a path like this. So there's two paths here, where it either just chills around here or it grinds up here, goes higher. That's what Bitcoin price action will look like for August. And of course, people want the climb higher, but just keep in mind what are the two cases, especially now that we've reclaimed the range. I mean, we're about to on the daily, but this is extremely good, because this means this is a liquidity sweep, and Bitcoin's just going to be a fucking Chad. Ethereum, extremely strong. At this rate, Ethereum will test 4K, 3.9K, that type of shit. And yeah, momentum's just going to carry it higher. It looks like this was a false breakout on the downside, which is pretty insane. I personally put a limit order around here-ish. This is pretty short term. I might increase my targets for it because 4K is a pretty important level. Yeah, I might increase my targets for this and have it like that, and that would be a pretty insane trade. That would be less likely to stop out. But this one is pretty short term for 3.9K, where I think that there would be a wick to test around here, because on the 1 hour there is a pretty important support at around 3.8K, and then if it's actually really strong, then it shouldn't go this low and test 3.94K, which is a local all-time high, and that would be a pretty insane long for around 2.7R. But yeah, what I also want to comment on is that ETH USD, or I mean ETH BTC, sorry, ETH BTC is extremely fucking strong. So let's look at this higher time frame. So this whole time ETH BTC has been fucked for pretty much the last year, and then now the bands have recently turned green on the daily or the weekly. But the thing is that if we do get a close around here, so we still have a few more days before it closes here, then this will do an explosive fucking move, and ETH to whatever 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 is not a fantasy anymore, assuming that we close around here. Like if it looks like this, then that is insanely bullish. But yeah, looks like we are so back, guys. I'm not even joking, because Twitter is extremely euphoric, but I think we are actually genuinely back. Solana looks pretty good too. If this close green on the bands, then Solana is probably going higher to 206. So I think we are actually so back, like no cap, just based off this price action and just momentum wise. So the others chart probably not going to follow this bullshit. It's probably going to do one of these, chop higher, and then new all-time high. That's my new bias for the altcoins and Bitcoin. But yeah, pretty insane price action. Liquidation heat map does support this. And what I do want to say, what I think is an interesting alt to look at is Mamo. So I need to do more research on this, but this is some base app that they're trying to push. But right now it's pretty strong trend. It just tested the 50% on the Fibonacci, and I think it will retest it at some point. I mean, yeah, it's going to fill that wick at some point, but I do think this Mamo token is going to be a good spot alt bag to hold for. I'm not really sure where you would sell, honestly. I have to think about that, but I mean, if you want to do some TA, okay, you would sell around 100 mil then. But yeah, so I think this is a decent spot bag to think about. I'm going to do some research about this, but trend wise and chart structure wise, this is one of the best charts I could see, and attention wise is all over fucking Twitter on base. So I think this one can do really good. So let's look at some tweets here. So we are pretty much very, very happy about this one tweet. Breaking news: President Trump officially signs executive order opening the 12.5 trillion 401k retirement market to crypto investments. So I don't even think I have to explain why that's so bullish, because for 401k, this is what the Americans do to put their extra money to invest for their retirement, basically. And they traditionally do it in the S&P 500 or gold or whatever the fuck they want to do. And usually there's an employee match. And there's $12.5 trillion in this market. And now that there's cryptocurrencies, and by the way, this is an executive order. So the president of the United States, he can pretty much have, I think it's like a limited amount, but executive order, he can say anytime, guys, I'm going to make an order that we have to do right now. And I don't give a fuck. You guys don't have to do any congressional shit with all the House of Representative bullshit. He just says, yeah, I'm just going to sign this shit. So now it is actually here. We had this 10 hours ago, and I was actually actualized with a 401k can now be allocated to crypto. So that is like Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is probably secured for now. Ethereum probably as well. But this is extremely bullish because Bitcoin, its entire market cap is like what, 2 trillion and 12.5 trillion. Yeah, so here's an AI news here. 12.5 trillion, that is 6x the market cap of Bitcoin. And let's say, like a lot of people, they think it's a scam. I don't think 100% of this, like everyone's going to go allocate to crypto. Over time, they will. But for now, it's going to follow an S-curve adoption most likely. And what I think was going to happen in that, at least in the next few months, at least 10% of this will be allocated to Bitcoin, which means that Bitcoin's market cap will go to 3 trillion or some shit, which price-wise from now is around 160, 170K. So this is one of the most bullish things we could think about in terms of pure liquidity that flows into Bitcoin. And that's just a very conservative estimate of 10% of that going into crypto in the next couple months. So that is generally fucking insane. So this shit is going to the fucking moon, bro. I'm not like, I know I sometimes have like bullish bearish statements, but no, this is actually super fucking bullish. Genuinely stupid, because everyone and their mom can buy it now. They don't need to be super skeptical about it. They're now seeing that it's actualized in the 401k. So this brings a lot of normally retail liquidity to be interested in these things. And Bitcoin should be the retirement plan for anyone who is going to live for the next 10 years. So, yeah, very, very good. Very, very good. And just in, President Trump officially signs executive order to stop banking discrimination against crypto, religion, and politics. Again, very, very good. It's pretty much attracting more retail liquidity to be like, yeah, guys, it's actually real. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says the crypto industry has matured and become mainstream. Yep. Again, just more confirmation on that Bitcoin, it's not really a scam as people might think. I mean, people still think it's a scam, but now we have the fucking federal government backing it. Dude, the U.S. is the biggest economy in the world, and now they're backing crypto. This is, it's stupid bullish. What is this? So, just in China to allow launch of its first crypto stablecoin, Financial Times reports. Yeah, so China was essentially banning crypto, but now they're making their own stablecoins, basically more crypto around the world. China's another global superpower. Again, more liquidity. It's how can you be bearish at this point? How can you be bearish? Long term, at least. 60% of Gen Z members say that working a full-time job will not allow them to reach their financial goals per MW. Among baby boomers, 35% share that view. Yeah, 60%. I think it should be 100%, dude. If you work a full-time job, you're not going to reach your financial goals like buying a house and a car and having kids and a wife. Good luck with that shit if you're not in fucking crypto. The S&P with the 7% returns a year, that doesn't even outpace inflation with the fiat disbase and what's going on. Good fucking luck. If these guys, like a lot of Gen Z are kind of hip to crypto, a lot of them personally think that it's scammy, but this, yes. What we need is more coins, and basically the root of most of the issues of this cycle. Yeah, so there's this guy here, Ben Pasternak. He's like a fucking deck guy. He made like a launch token. So I'll pull up the chart here, the launch coin. So the launch coin, it's like a, it pretty much mooned pretty earlier. I'm not really sure why, but it's some token where on Twitter you can yap to it and he makes a token for you. But we have this guy basically over the news of his fucking girlfriend, and people are clowning them, and he's trying to say that we should bring more tokens. Every time a person in influence launches the coin, new participants join the game. What single moment brought more attention to crypto this year than anything else? Trump coin. And honestly, like narratively, Trump coin, that was pretty much the top of the meme coin narrative, because you can't have a meme coin that's better than this. And the fact that this price action is just so fucking, it's zero right now. You can't have anything better than Trump token to buy. So why would you buy any other meme coin? There's literally nothing more because Trump is literally the most famous person in the whole world, honestly. And meme coins are all about attention, and he has the fucking attention of the most famous guy in the world. So can there be anything better than that? I think the meme coin narrative is top just because of the Trump and need more tokens as well. This signals that there's so many fucking tokens you would buy into, but that also means that liquidity gets dispersed in so many different places. 2021 was great for all altcoins because you didn't have to buy 1,000 fucking meme coins from Pump Fund. You can just buy one of these like Solana and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just buy this, buy and hold, and then boom, you get like a 10x. But no, we don't need more of this liquidity dispersion. It's already fucked up. I don't think it's going to get any better. And what will really truly happen for alt season is that it has to be select alts. And the best narrative right now, I still think, is AI within the whole altcoin sector. Meme coins are kind of fucked. I don't really fuck up the meme coins anymore. Like I have just a lot of memes I'm just looking at. Like if I were to look at an outperformer relatively, it's like mini token, but I'm not really sure why these go up, but like, can this go do an all-time high? Like people are saying Muride's 2 billion. I don't know. This can definitely go higher, but like a lot of these meme coins, the narrative is just so exhausted because of the Trump token. But AI, it's an ever-growing narrative where we're going to have AI right now, and then probably is going to be robotics later. And that's why I just think AI it's fucking huge, man. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm saying in this video. The market summary here is that I think short-term we will go higher to 120K. I mean, maybe there will be it shouldn't pull back, honestly. It should close here on the daily. So around here, it should close. And then probably a short candle higher. Like I'm expecting a very slow grind up to 120K. Not really a super impulse higher. I'm expecting a next few days just choppy higher, and then we'll probably, best case scenario is that we form a range here and then compress higher to 130K. But whether it does it now or later, I think it'll be better if we get a consolidative moment here. So it retests this 112K at some point later in August, and then it forms a base like this to go higher. That'll be the best case scenario because we're building energy to essentially have a sustained bull run. But we'll have to see. Assuming how soon this liquidity gets into the crypto markets, a lot of people are pricing this in already, and Bitcoin only increased by like 1-2%. Over time, more people should allocate more money to crypto. So either way, long term, it's going to go up, but it's dependent on the path. Will it consolidate at the highs or will it chop for August? So that's pretty much all I'm saying in this video, and I'll see you guys.